All right, let's just jump in, shall we? So, blue-white approach. Blue and white refers to the color combination we're playing here, obviously. Hey, Cousin Vin, mount your mighty steed and head off into combat. Thanks for the 24 months. Welcome back. Blue-white refers to our color combination. Approach the second sun is our win condition here. So we've got one copy of this in the main deck. If the spell was cast from your hand, if you've cast another card with this name, this game, you win the game. Otherwise, you gain 7 and it puts itself 7th from the top of your library. We only have a singleton copy of this in our main deck. We have 4 copies of this gorgeous Fae of Wishes here, which can use Granted to fetch a copy up out of our sideboard. So when this card was standard legal, you had to play like 2 to 3 copies in your main deck, and it was super clunky whenever you drew multiple Approach the Second Suns in matches, or like before turn 7 when you had a bunch of lands out. So the ability to like have 5 Approach the Second Suns in our deck without actually having to draw 5 is super powerful. Fae of Wishes, in addition to providing utility with Granted, a 1/4 body for 2 is super reasonable in a lot of the aggressive matchups in this format, so I've been really impressed with this card. We're up to 4 copies of this in the main deck for today. Just a lot of other good blue-white cards. I think Last Breath and Deck and Stone are 2 premium, 2 mana removal spells in this format. 4 white. I've been really happy with Last Breath. Deck and Stone is also very good, even with its drawback. Teferi Time Raveler takes the drawback off of Deck and Stone's primary, which is it's a sorcery. And Teferi also, notably, which is funny, after you Deck and Stone something, you can use Teferi to bounce their clue, so they don't get to draw a card either. Cast Out really felt like one of the missing pieces of the puzzle in these blue-white control decks form. I've been very impressed with this card. Only as it cycle to help you hit land drops in the early game, but just like having instant speed, like pseudo-unconditional removal feels really good. I've got a Miser copy of Commit to Memory here in the deck today, so put target non-land spell or permanent second from its owner's top of its owner library. So like pseudo counter here also impacts the board, which is nice, and then Memory can randomly gas their hand back up. So it's finally here, performing for you. If you know the deck, you can play it too. Put your hands together if you want to clap as we play through this Azorius approach. I don't know what tune that's supposed to be to, but it felt melodious. All right, let's dive into League here. We played this one a couple of times in the past before, 2 or 3 times, I think. And then this is one of the handful of Pioneer decks that's already up on my website, jeffhoagland.com. Click Pioneer decks at the top. I'm going to slowly be fleshing out that page more and more. I will bet this format's going to have as many decks up there as Modern at some point. A lot of great things to explore here. Bunch of resubs here. Welcome back, folks. Chobo, thanks for the 7. Everlife Reaper, back again for 10 months. It's been a while because I've been working constantly. Well, good to have you back. Beasto Burden, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. What's my favorite competitive Pioneer deck that is not Oak? I actually really like this deck. My recommendation would be, I was just talking about this one being up on the website. There's a number of decks up there, and I think only one or two out of the 6 have Oko in them. Something that I am trying today that I didn't mention in the opener is that I've got 2 copies of Fabled Passage in the deck, which I think is probably pretty reasonable. Prairie Stream came into play tapped pretty often anyways, and Fabled Passage helps fill up the discard pile for digging a little bit sooner on occasion. This hand is definitely in danger of just getting run over on the draw if our opponent's doing something quick, but I think if you're playing a control deck in this format, this is just like some of the hands that you're signing up to keep. It is noting, even though our hand's land heavy, we don't currently have white to cast this card. Things worth noting. This will be fetching our first white source here. Blue-Red Phoenix, thing in the ice. Yep. Looks like Blue-Red Phoenix. With Search for Azcanta here, we'll pretty likely be able to dig to our second white source. Last Breath and Deck and Stone, also good clean answers to this. One of the really nice things about playing against Blue-Red Phoenix in this format as opposed to Modern is there's no mana morphos or Phyrexian mana spells in this format. So when your opponent plays Thing in the Ice on 2, you don't have to worry about it flipping over until turn 4 at a minimum. Oh, they're missing a 3rd land. That's really good for us. Yeah, I'm lucky enough that even though we get I think I'm gonna bend that and just dig for a land or removal spell here. I'm lucky in that even though we get snow where I live, where the areas are well equipped to deal with it. Hey, Captain Markov. pleasantly surprised by a Saturday stream. My weekend has been swell. I took the kids to the Children's Discovery Museum this morning, which is a local favorite for them, so doing swell. Oops, Bat. Thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate you dropping that off. Sure. I think I'm just going to go ahead and Supreme Verdict here. I don't want to get smacked for 7 next turn. Let's just fill the bin up. Kidding. Casting the Supreme Verdict there and bidding the opt means if I bin a card next turn, I can flip the Search for Azcanta, which is great. So the 30 months look no numbers. I appreciate the 2.5 years. Is this flooding? I mean, yeah, but they're screwed, and like I've got a Search for Azcanta that's about to flip. And actually, I'm actually just going to go ahead and opt in response to this trigger here, so that way I can keep a card on top that I like. Well, obviously we would have been that. This way there's 7 cards in my bin regardless, so I get to guaranteed transform this. So had there been a good card on top, I would have been able to keep it there because I opted. And like my mana lines up really clean here. I get to activate Azcanta and play a tapped land now. So even though we're pretty flooded, our opponent stumbled long enough that we're probably going to be okay here. I'm going to grab Supreme Verdict. I think I'm okay with them having a second copy of that. Correct memory's not a bad one. What if I just pass? I'll just do this. It's a little greedy, but you know, greed. The way my lands line up here now, I'm able to do this, and then next turn, there's a small chance they flip this thing and the icings crack me for 7, but I think I'm okay with that. And then next turn, I can actually cast Supreme Verdict and still activate Azcanta, which is great. Looking and investing in Pioneer. I'm not familiar with a good chunk of the sets in Pioneer to my knowledge. Most of my knowledge colors for. What do you think the best place to start? Money. It depends on like what you're looking to do. If you're looking to build a single deck in Pioneer, my advice would be wait until January. If you're looking to build a variety of decks in Pioneer, you just want to start picking up format staples, I would recommend just starting to pick up the mana bases for various things that exist in the format. But if you're looking for like a recommendation on a specific deck list, I don't really have one currently. Teferi's actually a pretty good draw here. This card's great. Just gonna go ahead and go up here. And this way, if they flip this, I can just Verdict them, and if they don't flip it, we'll activate Azcanta. So I think we're solidly in garbage time at this point. Like with the flip to Azcanta, like we're gonna win the game eventually. It's just gonna take us a little bit. Yeah, Teferi's really, really good in this deck. Like, instant speed Verdict, instant speed Granted, like, instant speed Approach, also very good. Should I undo a button here? Okay, I'll undo a button on my thing. Oh, they discarded Fiery Temper. Teferi prevents madness spells from being cast for madness. Because, you know, why? Why wouldn't he? I would like to approach the second sun. Opponent understanding that we're in garbage time, they're probably just playing the game still because they wanted to see how we plan to win the game. And they see approach the second sun, so they now have an answer to that question, so they conceded. Very reasonable. Hey, thanks for 21 months of support, Mr. Lifeguard. I appreciate you keeping me around. Alright, so definitely want the extra Settle, definitely want the extra Deck and Stone. I think Commit to Memory is probably pretty slow here. Let's get rid of that one. Is the deck bomb for 10k shillings? No, it is. If you're on mobile, I have no idea how it looks or works on mobile, but I've been told it's not super clean. I think I want to leave D-Sphere and Verdict on the board as things to fetch up with Fae of Wishes here on top of the approach. I'm just going to trim a Censor here. Maybe these Mystic Disputes are fine. They do counter... I'm just gonna do this. Less is more. Yeah, that seems great. Love it. Hey, Sunko. Welcome back to a live one. I appreciate you keeping me around regardless of where you're watching. It's a good pickup. Are ready for no change Monday? I'd be pretty surprised if it... As someone who's frequently talked about happy no changes in all format day, I'd be pretty surprised if Monday is a no changes in all formats day. We're looking for like lands and 3-mana Teferis here. I think I'm actually going to bottom this. I think I just want to hit my land drops here. I already have a deck and stone and a cast out in Azcanta. I just want to like. This deck really wants to hit like its first leg. 5 to 6 land drops. Maybe even 7 land drops. I played the wrong land there, right? Because I showed them island, then I played plains. Small mistake. It probably doesn't matter, but worth noting. I think there's a good Narset, Transcendent deck in Pioneer. Rebounding Dig seems sweet. I don't know that she is better than the other Planeswalkers you have access to, in all honesty. The fact that she's, like, not card advantage... The fact that her card advantage is conditional is, like, kind of medium. Like, there's just been so many other good Planeswalkers printed in recent memory. Yeah, Monday is going to be... Monday will be a pretty historic day because it's going to set... It could be a historic day. If they ban Oak, it'll be the first time they ban a current set Mythic. That's not something that's happened in the past. I'm going to go ahead and cycle this cast out here. Censor not looking particularly great at the moment. Drawing a second one's a little medium, but we can cycle it, so that's fine. My personal dollars are on please ban Once Upon a Time. I have another Crackling Drake here. That's a pretty good one. Wow, sick. Planeswalker into Treasure Cruise. Feeling a little bit bad about cycling my cast out. I think there's a lot of different things they could ban. I think there are a number of different things they could ban from the current format to make it somewhat reasonable. We are still essentially playing a mono green format if they don't ban Once Upon a Time. Just gonna take Detention Sphere here to clean up Chandra next turn. I already played a land, right? Yep. I don't want to go get... I could get Hour of Promise there, or Hour of Revelation, but I didn't want to do that because getting that would get Spell Pierced by Azorius Charm, and I'm not into that at the moment. Ban, Mutavault, Flip Search, Fae of Wishes, sure. Yeah, okay, so let's give Chandra the D. And then I think we probably go tapped land, cast Fae of Wishes, that's on an adventure. This lines up into blocking Arclight Phoenix pretty cleanly here. Good evening, Confection. Thank you for the 14 months of Prime support. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday, reviewer. Opponent does have 8 cards in their hand, but I feel like we're in an okay spot. Our health total is relatively high. Chandra, yep. Chandra into mana. That's a little scary. We fried my Fae of Wishes. Yep, wonder if they've got, yep, I assume we're going to get, like, double slashed here, and they're bring this Arclight Phoenix back. Yep, we're going to 5. So we're dead to another Phoenix. Depending on what we do. So I've got 8 mana here. What if I go Deckenstone the birds, granted for an approach, and then play the Fae of Wishes out, and then we can just try and like approach here. We could die this turn depending on what their cards in hand are, but I feel like this is our best chance to win. Okay, probably dead. Yep, and the Chandra does too. Alright, game the third. Cycling the cast down early aggressively could have potentially cost us there. Definitely did not end up working out very well in our favor. I wonder if this is a Disdainful Stroke matchup. Probably not. Last Breath seems pretty medium. Maybe Commit to Memory is actually fine here because of Chandra. Maybe I just put the strokes in over the Last Breath, so I could see that. I can put Censor in on the play too. Let's give this a go. Because they have Drakes in their deck too. Sure. We can cycle this, right? Port Town. Port Town does like a good Sea Chrome Coast impersonation in this archetype. Sure. I will not use the back half of my search for Azcanta. Good draw. Yep. So since they have Fry in their deck, I'm just going to go ahead and bounce this now. This does expose this to Wild Slash, but it's not a big deal. I have a second one here. Sure. So next turn we'll go Island plus Teferi. We'll be able to Deckenstone plus cycle this Irrigated Farmland this turn, which is nice. Hey, congrats, Doug. Eldrazi deck's really sweet. I'm glad other people are enjoying it. Getting to cast Deckenstone at instant speed is so great. Feels good, man. I'm gonna deck this now, so that way they can't counterspell it. Enough recursion in the format. The Grafdigger's Cage is a good wish this way. I don't think so. I'm like, a lot of the decks that do have recursive elements to them, you get to beat up on those recursive elements by playing Deckenstone, Last Breath, and Settle the Wreckage. So I don't really feel like we're doing something meaningful. Or like we're gaining something meaningful by playing those style of cards. Sick. Hopefully we get to stroke a 4-drop here. Yep, we're in game 3 against Blue-Red Phoenix here currently. Alright, could get Mystic Disputed. JK, LOL. I want to stroke her even though I have Teferi in play because they like Wild Slash Teferi. Chandra gets out of control. Teferi does prevent Chandra from casting the spells she upticks on, but still just a generically good card. You know, I'm actually going to keep that. If it ends up not being live, we just get to cycle it, and that makes our dig through times better if we draw them. Opponent's on a boat. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hey, hey. We're really bad at drawing dig through time, chat. We should work on that. We're now 18 cards into our deck. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 66% land at the moment. Well, I mean, that's a utility land, at least, I guess. Probably just deck and stoning this next turn. Yep. Yep. Just storing that cumulative variance for sure. Just found out I got promoted. Whatever the first person in chat is to use Shilling's Choice. Thanks, Skip Dash. I appreciate the biddies. Hope you're having a good one. Maybe people are just getting Hero of Dominaria here. I kind of like it. I don't want to jam it into a Spell Pierce, but I think we pick that up and then like cast Fae of Wishes. You want to just get Approach? I think just getting Approach is wrong. I'm just like not getting back to it anytime soon. And then I have to decide, do I want to deck this in stone or do I want to just play this out? I think I just want to play this out. And like, this Fae, put those bids towards more Approach. Oh, yeah, 10 out of 10. That sounds great. These lands in my hand can actually turn into picking this Fae of the Wishes back up, which is sweet. Discard 2 cards, pick this card back up. Hopefully they play out another creature threat here. We'll like pick this up and then like granted for Verdict and Verdict next turn. Our opponent is much better at drawing Treasure Cruise than we are at drawing Dig Through Time. It's kind of unfortunate. Their second cruise this game. Yep. Been the Dark Lake Phoenix, yep. Or do they not cast 3 spells? They didn't, did they? That's funny. Huh. They have 5 cards in their hand, so if I like Verdict here, they're pretty likely to be able to get the Phoenixes back and hit me for 6 that way. Any deck building article recommendations? This Mana Math article from Frank Kirsten is you know, one of the most recommended things, I'd say. But if I like Deck and Stone this plus Teferi Deck and Stone this, then this dies to Wild Slash plus a Phoenix hit. They're already through 2 Fries and 1 Wild Slash though. I'm gonna lead on Granted and see what they do. Okay, I think I'm just gonna Granted and Verdict. It's kind of a shame that I don't have the 10th land to like replay the Fae of Wishes here, but I think it was definitely right to bend the lands to Fae last turn. And like, if they hit me to 8, ideally they don't have a third. If they have a third Phoenix to flip into play this turn, I'm gonna be in trouble. But if they don't put a third Phoenix into play, I feel like we should be in an okay spot because we can like Deck and Stone the birds and like play Teferi plus next turn. Okay, they did not discard a third Phoenix there, so that's a good start. And good evening, folks, by the way, to folks coming in. I'm planning to do at least 2 Pioneer decks tonight. If we have a good audience size by the time we finish the second one, I'm going to do 3 and 4 more. Or 2 extra for 3 and 4 total for the evening. But I went bottoms up twice. They've got 21 cards left in their deck. Shocked that in, eh? Bring on the birds. We're going to 8 here. What are we doing for blue 1 at the start of combat? Weird. I don't think we're in danger of getting burned out from this position. Could be famous last words. Thing in the ice, sure. That is an excellent draw. Let's start with that. Bring it like double counterspelled here and be real sad. Didn't get double counterspelled. Or 8. I'm going to bounce this thing and then Deck and Stone the birds then, I think. I did bottom there. We just drew another one. Not a big deal. So they get to crack a clue here. Hey, thanks for the 21 months, Coma Cake. Welcome back. Yep. We did kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. It was very nice. Yeah, Deck and Stone is a really, really well-designed removal spell. Really well-designed removal spell. And they know about this Hero of Dominaria still, because this is like a card we got off of, the Hero of Dominaria was a card that I got off of a what's it called, forever ago. Yep. Another Fae of Wishes, eh? They have 2 cards in hand. I'm at 6. Oh, we can just grant it for hour, can't we? Yeah, I guess the odds we die here are pretty low, huh? We could die here. They're like Phoenix us. We're probably dead to Phoenixes anyways. Thanks for the half a year, Shadow Kid. Welcome back. Yep, shields are in fact down. Yep. Is it crazy to plus the Teferi here? Because if they flip the thing, I can block with Mutavault. They're already through 3 Wild Slash. I think I'm going to plus the Teferi here. I feel like it's not unreasonable to plus the Teferi. Yeah, because then I can play the Fae too. Exactly. In the past, you said you don't like Fabled Passage or something better. I'm just trying things. You gotta try things to figure out if they're good or bad or not. Prairie Stream also kind of sucks. Fabled Passage has the small upside of delving away, so maybe it's good. I'd also like to let the record reflect, my opponent has drawn almost their entire... Oh, they could ditch their last 2 Phoenixes here. If they ditch their last 2 Phoenixes and they flip the thing, we're dead. And they're through their entire deck at this point. There's 7 cards left in their deck. They only have 3 cards in their hand, though, and they discard 2 of them here. So they have to, like, discard Bird and then cantrip into a thing. Yep. And then that's super unfortunate because I can't stroke this, because if I stroke this, I can't block with Mutavault. So if I wouldn't have played this, I think we would have won this game. So if I wouldn't have played the Fae, I could have stroked that Treasure Cruise. And then they wouldn't have drawn 3 cards here. Yeah, we're technically not dead yet. My opponent's only got 2 cards in their... My opponent's got 2 cards in their bin. I get to do this. I get to Supreme Verdict. I get to do this. I get to pass. How many Is It Charms are they through? 1, 2, 3. They're through all 4 Is It Charms here. Yeah, they have 1 card in their deck. I'd also like the record to reflect that we're 30 cards into our deck and have not drawn a dig through time this game, and we're like playing a game of Magic. We've like they've literally played every card in their deck. They have zero cards in deck. Okay, sick. Cast 0 dig through times in 3 games, 1 anyways. Nice, good start. Good start to the league. Ooh, granted for Last Breath for Life Gain's a good suggestion. 10 out of 10, should have done that. Sure. Hey, Digitech Wire, thanks for the 15 months of support there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So I think we lead on Irrigated Farmland here, because Irrigated Farmland has the Plains Island subtype, which lets me put the Glacial Fortress into play untapped on 2 here. So I can censor something, or opt plus cycle censor, depending on what they do. Won the die roll against a red deck. That's a good start. Howdy, Gagra. You are the enemy of the people. Light up the stage. You must be censored. Huh? Did I just deck this in stone? Nah, let's not do that. Let's like look for a land. Yeah, that's fine. Also fine. We have what? 2 looks with opt, a draw step, a look with censor. Thanks to the 11 months, Zorin. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope you're having an excellent Saturday, reviewer. Don't need that one yet. This censor is pretty likely to not be useful at this point, I think. Since I'm tapping out next turn, I'm going to want more cards that play to the board, so... Goodbye, friends. Am I done playing Arena until the next set? I'm done playing Arena until the ban list update on Monday. So, Magic's having its standard ban list update on Monday. So, depending on what happens there will depend on what we do. We're also getting, they're adding real historic format support starting with Thursday's update. So, I'm planning to stream a little bit of historic starting next week. So you'll be seeing some of that for me. I am taking submissions for historic decks. Yeah, format's real bad. I'm not Show or Croquis. Even Show's been playing other games. I'm not Croquis. I can't just sit there and like grind awful green mirrors all day. We've got sweet Pioneer formats to play and other things like that. Like ain't nobody got time to put up with that BS. Not here, at least. I'm just going to censor this one. Vanish of Pyromancer. Yeah, I think this card's probably Pioneer playable. It's a good rate. Like, does 2 when it comes into play. This is my favorite play. Teferi Bounced Your Clue is just, like, so offensive. It's just like, what if I took away the upside you got from this deck in stone? What if I was just like, get out of here? I love Croquis. Even in Oko Hell, he finds a way to complain about Esper. Yeah, that's because Esper's super miserable. Esper is way more miserable than Field of the Dead could ever dream of being. I also suppose in, like, streamers who are still pounding Arena's defense, like, my viewer numbers would be better if I was playing bad standard formats. Like, bad standard formats on Arena get more viewers than better formats on Magic Online, because Magic Online's gonna Magic Online. Hey, look, a land that does something. So we're waiting for a granted at this point. A real question is, if I draw Granted, do I get 5 mana Teferi or do I just get Approach? Have we had every land drop this game? We have, haven't we? Yeah, it's turn 9. Jugu Gabi, thanks for the 42 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, we are never using the back half of this year. Hot take. Everybody's deck that isn't the deck that person is currently playing, people think is miserable. Loose Magic the Gathering take. Everybody thinks everything is miserable all of the time, except for whatever deck they're currently playing. Oh, is that a good one, chat? Was that a good one? There are dig through times in my deck, chat. I was starting to wonder. I wasn't certain. I really want to play Monastery Mentor. Do you have any suggestions besides it's bad because Wild Slash? Thanks for the 3 months fight. Actually, what's it called? We just played a what's it called deck that felt pretty okay. There was a Mardu Tokens deck that we played that played some Mentors that was fine. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab Approach here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and Fae, and I'm gonna go ahead and Last Breath my Fae and gain 4. So just like go to 6 here, and then like we Approach plus Op next turn, and like if we hit an okay string of cantrips, like we should be able to get back to the Approach to win the game. Fae of Wishes has just been such an all-star in this archetype. Been super impressed with it. Hey, look, it's that land that helps me get back to Approach. I'm gonna opt now in case we find a temple. Huh. Yeah, keep it. When I gain life and a potential hasty creature, because they have Ramanap runes in play. So if they Ramanap runes me, they can then kill me in response to me last breathing later. So I'd rather just like not get into like that game of chicken where like I can't last breath because they'll kill me. Is that a good one, chat? What do we think about that one? There might be something to this dig through time card, chat. And when someone else called my deck miserable a little bit ago, I resent that statement. My deck's a control deck, but it does actually win the game. Thank you very much. This isn't a dirtle do nothing control deck. This deck like actually has the decency to end the game. Not just gonna like sit here and like try and deck my opponent. Thanks for the 14 months, JJ. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me on incoming Pyroblast. I guess we just pass, right? We'll just Approach next turn. Alright, Commit to Memory is pretty bad. Deck and Stone sounds fine. This is probably a verdict matchup. Settle the Wreckage is actually probably pretty medium here. What do you think about trimming Cast Out for Dovin's Veto? I feel like that's probably pretty okay. What do we think of this configuration? Don't most control decks eventually end the game? Yeah, eventually being the key word. This deck, like my opponent lost the game without conceding before it went to like 20 turns. You know, I mean, like if they have Chandra, I can still deal with Chandra with my Fae of Wishes. Like I don't know that like Chandra's a card I'm super playing around. Maybe Censor's pretty bad in the draw, and I'd rather have Cast Out just in case they bring in things like Chandra. I'd buy that for $1. I'm not opposed to getting rid of this instead of this. Sure, that's a good suggestion. They could have Frenzy too. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like the suggestion of pretty easy mulligan here. We have lands, but like this doesn't do anything yet. We don't have anything that plays to the board. We have effectively 10 cards that interact with the board early in matches like this. We have Fae of Wishes, Last Breath, Deckenstone, so mulliganing in the aggro matchup to some combination of those cards is not unreasonable. Will that deck be on YouTube? It's already on YouTube, Fight. We played it a little while ago. Hey, Cody, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This is our first deck we're playing tonight. The Marty Tokens deck I was referring to is one we played prior. Yep. The stage is lit AF fam. Yep. Red divination for 1. Pretty good. I don't know about that for now. Deck's got plenty of lands in it. I'm just gonna Last Breath this now. I know I want to get rid of it, and I don't want to, like, get into trouble with them triggering prowess on it. Loving Pioneer, hope it stays healthy. Thanks for the tier 3 name, chill. I think Pioneer needs some adjustments in its current state, but I think it's definitely has the potential to be very reasonable. All right, so we're looking for Supreme Verdict at this point. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just play my 1/4 out here as a pseudo removal spell. Speaking of Pioneer and Healthy, someone had mentioned that they posted 7-1 or better Pioneer deck lists. You can look at this. Look at this after this match. Am I dead? We could be dead here. Even with the sweeper here. They have Remnant Runes at Wort 1. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. You're just gonna die to aggro decks on the draw sometimes. Just like how Magic works. Magic's an incredibly high variance game with an incredible number of non-games. It's just what you're signing up for. This hand's like not stellar, but I think it's the range of keepable, especially on the play. Get to go turn 2 Fae of Wishes to stunt their initial aggression, and then Supreme Verdict on 4 to clean up a little bit. Turn 2 Fae of Wishes against turn 1 Bomat Courier sounds great. Going on HCSR. Good. This is something Fae of Wishes does really well against these aggressive decks. It makes them go wide, and then like you get to clean up with Supreme Verdict. So even though we're going to be verdicting away our own thing, like our Supreme Verdict at the moment, it's like a 2 for 3, which is a good exchange for us. Yep. Light them up. They're on fire. Oh, ho, 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 do, 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 do. I expect we'll see them cast this again here and then smash with at least this. Another Bomat, yep. I like this serve here. I'm verdicting. I'm pretty priced into verdicting next turn, I think, so I'm just going to go ahead and gain 4 with that. And my opponent kind of like sniffed out the verdict there. They still have plenty of gas, though. I'm at 13. They have a land Bomat they can cast this turn, plus 4 cards in hand after their draw step. Thanks for the 25 months, Wraithmorn. I appreciate that. Welcome back. It's very possible we want, like, some number of Blessed Alliance. There's a chance there's not, like, a timely reinforcement in this format that we can just play to, like, hose this matchup. Not drawing any relevant spells hasn't been very good either. Yeah, we're probably just dead here. It's unfortunate that, like, none of our flood has brought a Mutavault with it. Even if we had some more spells here, we'd probably be dead. I mean, we can't hardcast approach. We're only on 6 lands. Gotta get lucky to win any game. I think that's a stretch. I think that's an overstatement. I think not being unlucky is generally sufficient. Blade control is bad against mono red shocker. I don't know if that's strictly a shocker. I feel like we have a number of okay tools there. We're gonna look at deck list, sure, yep. I almost, like, I guess this is fine to, like, look at or whatever, but, like, it almost doesn't matter, right? Because, like, something's gonna get banned on Monday. So, like, these aren't sorted in any way, shape, or form. Thanks for the 7 months, Bill Smash. I like blue-white a lot more than Esper. You can watch us play Esper in the past, and just the black splash was not impressive. Mono black, Golgari Field. That's an interesting configuration. 4 Once Upon a Time is great. Hey, thanks for the bits from the crypt. Simic aggro, mono red. Is it Phoenix? Is it Phoenix with 3 Merfolk Secret Keeper? That's hot. And they're playing a dig through time on top of 4 crews. That's Xerox gonna Xerox. Hardened Scales. Another black aggro, another black aggro. Another black aggro. That's actually the second deck we're going to play tonight is black aggro. Wow, only one green devotion. How many copies of Once Upon a Time? Only 5 Once Upon a Time decks. How many decks total are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 5 out of 12 for Once Upon a Time decks. It's actually less than I was expecting to see. It's interesting. If you want the link to those deck lists there, you can find them on the Star City coverage page or at that URL right there in chat. Hey, Admiral, if you're still here, is there any chance I could talk you into doing Bring to Niv for Pioneer instead of Bring to Niv in Modern? Because Bring to Niv in Modern really isn't that good. It just gets beat up by the good linear decks and it feels kind of bad. Bring to Niv in this format seems super reasonable, though. There were no squids in the 6/1/1 and better deck list. There were 6 of them in day 2, I think they said. Turn 1 elves. All right, we got a bunch of cyclers to try and hit the Supreme Verdict on curve. Yep. If you didn't get a chance to watch it yet, Admiral, you could take a peek at the last time we played, or when we played Bring to BTL Niv in Pioneer before you make your decision. No, JPL is trying to be like this five color mid-range value deck. It's really not good. Yet it's like Jund with more expensive and rainbow cards in it. I think I want to cycle two things here. I think my Censor is pretty unlikely to be able to tag anything next turn. And I want the cast out for a Planeswalker afterwards. Pioneer, your bad modern deck is probably sweet here in the format. That is an apt summary. Sweet, they're playing a creature here. Less sweet. We're about to die to whatever this gives haste to. Maybe just itself. We're currently taking 8 this turn down to 6. I found a combo that works with Bandit Fear. Need to have a 1-drop and Displacer on the... Remember that time I cycled my Censor? Remember that time I cycled my Censor? Pepperidge Farm remembers. I think it was right. All right, we're not dead this turn, but like we're not in a good spot. So we're going to 2. We're dead to Walking Ballista now, though. Things to note. They do only have 1 card in hand, so we're dead to Ballista. But other than that, we have a shot. How much to see Bant Blade in the morning? You mean on Monday? Because I am not planning to be live tomorrow. Thanks for the 5 months, Ben Rev. I also wasn't planning to do Modern until Friday this week, I don't think. Well, that's a selection of cards. Hey, Kapoo, thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. If you want to make me play Modern on Monday, I'd do it for $100. But other than that, you got to beat the other 2 Modern decks in the queue, and it'll be up on Friday. Yep. Okay. So do I... I'm just going to do this for now. Think I just pass? I think I just pass. Maybe it's right to play out another Fae of Wishes here. Thanks for the 19 months, Mr. Hello. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So I'm one land off of Fae plus Verdict in the same turn. Which could mean we're dead. Okay. Huh? So we're definitely playing a land. Yeah, do we Teferi bounce plus play Deccan here? I think that's the line. Getting another Teferi into my bin also gets me closer to dig through time. What if I just play second Fae of Wishes here? I'm gonna do that. Outside of Walking Ballista, I feel like we're in an okay spot at the moment. Are we worried about Blossoming Defense? They're currently playing Hearthstone, so Blossoming Defense doesn't really matter. It's a good pickup. That's a good pickup. Last breath. Last breath means we're not dead to, Last breath means we're not dead to Walking Ballista. Because we can last breath our own Fae of Wishes. Little bit of a punish for not deck and stoning the Steel Leaf. That's fine though, because I have a cast out. I'm doing this, sequencing in this way, because I want them to make mana with that and have the mana clear their pool before I deck and stone. Why can't you deck and stone? I can. That's what we're doing. That's why we're not dead. Okay, I'm gonna cycle this and then probably delve to dig right now. So like figure out what we're doing. And then actually, now that we drew another dig through time, I'm actually just gonna pass here because I don't want to full delve with the second tick in my hand. Sure, Admiral. I mean, I expect it to be playable. I don't think any of the cards in there, like, outside of Once Upon a Time's, like, super replaceable in that deck. 9 out of 32 decks in the Pioneer PTQ are mono black. Yes! Thoughtseize ban incoming. Yes! Hashtag ban Thoughtseize. Sure, you have Ruinous. My ideal Pioneer format is a format that is managed enough that Thoughtseize is not a necessary card. I think Thoughtseize is a card that generates miserable gameplay patterns, and it's one that I would not be sad to see removed from the format. All of the decks that play Thoughtseize are still decks without Thoughtseize. They could just ban Copter. Copter is probably what they'll ban. In my opinion, good game design are cards that encourage players to make more gameplay decisions. And Thoughtseize does not do that. Thoughtseize removes gameplay decisions from one of the people playing. You say that a one resource reveals. I don't know what you're describing, Pekin. If you want, in my opinion, the only acceptable 1-mana discard in Magic is the card Blackmail. If you don't know what the card Blackmail does, look it up. That in my opinion is a good example of a well-designed 1-mana discard spell. Because Blackmail is a card that requires both players to make decisions. All right, what am I doing here? I think I'm taking commit, and we're gonna commit this this Ruinous, and then I think I'm taking op to fuel this next dig through time. Maybe I'm supposed to take the search for Azcanta there. I almost took the other Fae of Wishes, so super happy to draw a Granted here. I'm going to opt now in case we draw a land. You know, honestly, I think I'm just, like, in for a land at this point. And actually, I'm just going to commit this now, so that way they can't double pump their Paradise Druid. That would not be good for me. I don't know what Myers Toll does. You're running one copy of Field of the Dead in your approach deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, sure, seems fine. Tap lands kind of suck. That's my take on running. My take on running Field of the Dead in here. It's tap lands suck. Lukewarm take, tap land suck. Deccan Stone deals with what's his name. So reveal cards, 3 equal number of swamps you control. You choose one. Sure, that card's technically fine. That card's not good though. Like, I feel like Blackmail's like a good example of a card that's like, this card is playable. It's like this card's playable, but like not like Thoughtseize offensive. think Inquisition is not a well-designed card. Again, cards like Inquisition and Thoughtseize, they serve to remove gameplay decisions from one player playing the game. Cards that are good, elegant designs, in my opinion, create complex decision trees for both players. Yeah, I agree with Demir Spy's assessment. I prefer Mutavault to Field of the Dead because it's untapped and it tends to be better in the mid game. Yeah, you have Lagalta. Thanks for the 5 months, Waterboy. I appreciate it. Welcome back. So we're gonna end step, Decken Stone the Rowanus, granted for Supreme Verdict. And then we'll untap. Yeah, we'll bin Glacial. Play this Mutavault. I think I'm just plussing here so we can Verdict inside of combat. I guess Verdicting inside of combat means that... Verdicting inside of combat means that them drawing Great Henge is better. So I'm actually just going to Last Breath this now. And then go ahead and Supreme Verdict here. And then this allows me to play Fae of Wishes here. And then I can use Teferi Time Raveler to bounce my Fae of Wishes. I guess I could have also bounced their Clue, since they didn't crack it with their mana creatures. And the reason why I Last Breath my own Fae of Wishes there, for those wondering, is because getting punked out by Walking Ballista, I feel like, is the only way I lose this game at the moment. So I'd like to just, like, make sure I don't get punked out by Walking Ballista, so I want to gain some life. I'm going to board in this Supreme Verdict. Extra Commit to Memory actually seems okay here. They've got the Great Henge, and they've got Rowanus in their deck, both of which are pretty annoying. Decken Stone seems fine. Censor seems pretty bad on the draw against the Mana Dork deck. I actually think I want to keep the Verdict in the board to Fae of Wishes for. I'm going to board in the extra Settle the Wreckage, though. Hey, thanks for 13 months, Evan. Welcome back. Last Breath actually seems kind of medium here. A lot of their stuff dodges it. They've got a lot of heavy hitters. It was like, okay, that game, but I think I like this configuration. Seems somewhat reasonable. Yeah, make sure you've got notifications on the channel, and if you're a sub who doesn't want Twitch notifications you're not a fan of, you can also be in the subs Discord. I always tag everyone there when I go live. I also tweeted this evening when I go live at an abnormal time. I tend to tweet. I don't tweet my go lives during the week, but I think we're mulliganing this here. This card's like okay in the mid game, and like a 1/4 blocker's like medium in this matchup, but definitely don't want 3 of them here. This seems like not super exciting. I'd really like a land that makes these Port Towns come into play untapped, but I think it's in the range of keepable at 6. Opponent kept 7. Alright. Cat plan that does something. I'm going to bottom that. Looking for something to bring these into play untapped. Fae of Wishes is not strictly better Horned Turtle. Fae of Wishes dies to Plummet. Horned Turtle does not. Checkmate. Checkmate. Checkmate strictly better is. Are we still going to play Wall of Roots on its bug anniversary? It is still bugged. Yeah, we could probably play some Wall of Roots in Modern for a throwback on the January 26th or whatever the bug anniversary is. Coming up on 4 years, Wall of Roots bugged. Imagine dying to Plummet in this economy. Alright. Alright. Settle the Wreckage. If we survive till their 5th combat step, that card could maybe do something. Yep. Might not live that long, chat. I guess we get to Deckenstone, this idiot. Formidable. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? All right, let's get rid of that. Keep them off of Galta. Prevent them from Galtaing us next turn, hopefully. Yep. Our opponent's going to be super blown out when we turn their forest in the forest with the Settle the Wreckage. Cometh at me, tiny green creatures. Evening, XRtron. Having a wonderful weekend wherever you are. It's been a while since we've been able to do an evening stream. Seen a lot of names in chat we haven't seen in a bit. Oh no! Think they've sniffed out my clever Settle the Wreckage ploy. I think we might be dead, chat. I probably want to... I did bring in Stroke, right? Yeah, I did bring in Stroke. Okay. I say I probably want to be stroking them here. I wonder if I want these Vetos, too. They have Great Henge and they have Nissa. Do I tentatively know what's happening for Thanksgiving? I believe I'm just doing my normal streams, Marty. We don't really do stuff for that holiday in my family. I'm planning to just be live Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, so that happened. Oh, wait. I was thinking I could do this and then settle them next turn, but this Glacial Fortress is actually tapped at the moment. I don't know. I don't think it matters. We're probably dead regardless. Let's run it back. We're up to 800 folks. The Invitational must be done. Look at that. Looks right. What's the number of people to get to do a third deck tonight? That's the real question. What do we gotta hit to do a third deck after Black Aggro? It's a real number. Let's say 1,200. Let's say 1,200. If we hit 1,200 people, we'll do a third deck after Mono Black. So we got like 2 hours to gain 33% people. I believe in you, chat. Get your friends in here. I'm gonna tell my mom to create a Twitch and sub to you. All my friends are here. This hand is, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have kept this. It's got Search on 2 and a Teferi on 3. It's like this is what control players want to do. Hey Trini, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Hope you're having an excellent weekend wherever you are. No turn 1 dork. Well, that's a giant fist pump. This is a part where they like BTE into Paradise Druid. Feels like BTE into Paradise Druid. Just Paradise Druid, rude. How am I supposed to Teferi bounce that one? Won't you think of the Teferis? Oh, elevator going up. Verdict's a great pickup here, obviously. Apparently there are a bunch of people in watching the stream that really don't want me to stream more. They were just like we talked about hitting 1,200 people and immediately 50 people left. It's good beats. Well, that's incredibly unfortunate. Supremely punished for not just cashing in Teferi for drawing a card. Them getting to know that Supreme Verdict's there with certainty is like also a big game for them. I think if they commit any other creatures to the board here, I'm going to pull the trigger on this Verdict. Yeah, just bounce Spyglass with Teferi, exactly, you get it. I kind of have nothing to do here. Cast out would be a good draw. You'd take the Spyglass off the table. Get 2 shots at cast out. Maybe it's right to keep the op there. I don't know. I can't cast Granted or Cast Out if I keep the opt and opt into them. So I think I'm just supposed to bin it so I can cast those 4 mana spells potentially. No, I don't think there's any decks that can afford to play Detection Tower in Standard. That's pretty good. The fact that we're just like getting 2 for 1 by this Spyglass feels real bad. Nope. I'll take that one, please. I'm gonna tag the Spyglass and bounce the Ronus here. Hey, Silifarian, thanks for the 25 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Would like one of your finest cards, please. That's a little... Drawing the Irrigated Farmland there is a little bit of a punish for playing my land out before I cast out. I played my Mutavault first so that way I could cast like an opt if I drew it, but drawing a tapped land is a little bit tempo negative. With the decision I ultimately made. Hopefully it's just like Ronus plus activate Ronus here. They know Supreme Verdict is there from... They know about these 3 cards. I imagine we'll see Teferi eat it here. Nice Bruskity. Yeah, a couple other people are saying apparently it was like 9 of the top 32 decks in the PTQ top 32. Hey, thanks for the 2 years, Apple Tunes. Mount your trusty steed. Huh? just gonna run back Time Raveler Monsteronis here, I think. And I super messed up there. I could have just left my Mutavault up to block for my Teferi. To like make their attack worse. And Smuggler's Copter. Smuggler's Copter is a big part of the winning combination of that black aggro deck. I think banning a one-mana accelerant in this format would be kind of silly. I think they should definitely get rid of Once Upon a Time before they get rid of a one-mana accelerant. Is this deck play 7th in the queue from the top when it's played? I don't know what your... I don't understand your question, Swift. Thanks for the tier 3 and for the 13 months at that. Yeah, see, like, if I would have left Mutavault up here, they wouldn't have been able to attack like that. They would have had to pump this and attack both their things into my Teferi. So I could have saved myself some damage. Oh, it's a joke about playing Approach? Sure.
Dad, you're streaming.
I am streaming.
Daddy, I ate a whole big piece of pizza.
You ate a big piece of pizza?
With TJ.
That's cool.
I ate the whole one. I even ate the crust. I ate the whole pizza without even stopping the crust.
I like when you eat actual food.
Well, I ate the whole pizza without stopping from eating the crust.
You want to say hi to the internet?
Hi, internet. I want the camera.
You want the camera? All right, this is a motion sickness warning to anybody who has motion sickness. I'm gonna let Declan hold the camera for a second. You've been warned.
Where's the camera?
The camera's right there. See it?
Yeah. Right there.
All right, so I think I verdict here,
Daddy.
and then this Fabled Passage lets me fetch an island and dig still.
Mission accomplished. What does this mean?
Helps the camera stay up.
No, what is this part for? Because look.
Are you being good for Uncle CJ?
See how this... What?
It lets it pop up like this. So that way it can stand up on things. He is like an actual person with words and thoughts and stuff now. It's kind of weird. The kids aren't around as much as when they were tiny children that didn't have words.
Stand up on the button instead this part.
Yep, instead of just the monitor. All right, bud, I love you. Can you go back upstairs with Uncle CJ, please?
Okay, put that back.
I'm glad you ate pizza. So I assume they have some other... I assume they've been holding creatures back because they knew about this first Supreme Verdict. So I'm expecting some other fatties to, like, slam in here. If Jake approaches the stream, is that approach of the second son? Ba-dum-tsh. They had... Alright, I'm gonna give you that one. That was... Alright, that's excellent. Well done. I have redeemed myself. Appreciate me. I don't think it's worth chump blocking with Mutavault here to stay at 9. I also really want to fetch and cast Dig Through Time here. Joke's on you. That card wasn't flipping next turn anyways. Joke's on you, I've got Dig Through Time. Thanks for the delve fodder, bro. Alright, so... I think I just take Commit and Stroke here. Because I can shock in the Fountain, Verdict, and now I can do it painless. So I can cast Supreme Verdict, then hold up Commit here / Disdainful Stroke. You did not miss your list, Scooter. It is up second this evening. This is going to be the next deck that I play. Decided to sneak on this evening while my brother-in-law was here, hanging out with the kids, so I could make up for some of the time I took off Thursday. Give me something to Disdainful Stroke, please. Because this cannot attack or block if they don't have another creature with power 4 or greater. So you just keep the board clear. The Ronus doesn't do anything for the time being. Yeah, opponent's super low on clock. It's been a long match, but like we are up 7 minutes at the moment. 2 years of walking made the feet real sore. Finally got to my horse. Thank you for the very generous tier 3, Johnny boy. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. That is a Mistcutter Hydra. That can't be countered, but it can be committed. I have a strong commitment to that card not resolving this turn. Professor Chaos, thanks for the Prime support. Welcome to Huglandia. I appreciate you shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. Alright, so like, with that card coming back up, is it crazy to just like let us both draw? Like, do I just like play a tapped land, have us both draw 7 here? Who thinks that's crazy? I feel like that's not absurd. I can leave up Mutavault as a blocker for this. Alright, I'm gonna YOLO. Yeah, I mean, like, they could just have, like, a giant group full of Mistcutter Hydras, right? Probably watched 50 plus your videos on YouTube, so I thought it was time I give you some Bezo bucks. I appreciate that, Chaos. Those Bezo bucks pay my mortgage, so thanks for keeping me around. Oh, they could hit Sirach here, too. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is probably loose. I don't know. My hand just, like, wasn't doing anything. Would not be surprised if we die this turn, just for the record. Just like drew them into Mistcutter Hydra a turn early. The dojo has no room for fear chat. Yeah. I don't know. I think we were pretty dead there regardless. I don't know, like when your opponent registers like 4 Mistcutter Hydras, like they kinda just want it more than you. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. Yeah, haste is a green mechanic, Marty. Come on now. You new at this? Green gets actual everything. Green is the color pie. Up to over 900 people in here. Thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining us while we play some Pioneer on Magic the Gathering's premier play client, Magic the Gathering Online. It's called Evergreen for a reason, but Alright, we're 1 and 2. See if we can hit that 3-2 for the 3rd time in a row with blue-white approach. Once upon a time, there was a card that's getting banned on Monday. Spire of Industry. Oh, I wonder if they're, I've seen some blue-green variations of, I wonder if they're a teamer? I think some blue-green variations of the Scissors deck. This could maybe be 3-color Scissors. Bomat. Bomat implies that there's red in their deck at the very least, right? I think I'm in for a land, even if it's a tapped land. Well, if I draw any 4th land here, this is untapped eventually, right? Okay, I think I'm just playing a 1/4 out here. It's like Horned Turtle will go. Sure. This lets the Bomat Courier continue to attack and accrue cards underneath itself. Hey, welcome back, Fancy Penguin. Good to have you here. I'd have to imagine they're playing Oko. You'll never catch me, I'm the gingerbread man. Beaumont's got 3 cards under it now. Gonna get to gas back up here eventually for the opponent. Nope. We just Verdict here? I think we just Verdict here, huh? Like a 2 for 3. I think I'm trading my Fae of Wishes and Supreme Verdict for their 3 creatures. Think there's a chance that if I don't Verdict this turn, they're going to empty enough of their hand that they're going to cash in this Beaumont Courier for value. Yep. I have this weird sense of deja vu, chat. It's the weirdest feeling. I feel like I've been here before. Highlight Ghostfire Blade, yep. You can also, as a heads up, type !! Ghostfire Blade in chat, and you'll get the text of a card. If I ever don't mouse over something long enough for you. So I think my plan here is stop on my opponent's draw step. And the reason why I'm going to stop on their draw step is this way they pick up a card for the turn. And then if they want to sacrifice the Beaumont Courier, they have to lose both the cards in their hand currently. It might also be right to just cast out the Ghostfire Blades. That way my last breaths are a little bit better. Can see that being the case too. Yep, Scissors here. Yeah, we're taking 8 now. Yeah, maybe me worrying about the Beaumont Courier is wrong. That doesn't really do anything. I guess I could have taken that and blocked plus Last Breath my own thing to gain 4 and like fogged them for a turn. Would have been a potential line there. Definitely want an extra deck in stone. I think the extra commit to memory is fine here too. Tag the thing that they put Scissors on. Well, maybe this is worse than just like having some cheap counter spells. They have a lot of good non-creature cards in their deck. Maybe I want Dovin's Veto, because they probably do have Shrapnel Blast. I think they have quite enough blue cards for Mystic Dispute to be good. I think I'd rather be on Veto. I think I want to leave Sphere in the sideboard to fetch with Fae of Wishes as an answer to stuff that they have going on. So like when you have cards that are like reaching into your sideboard, you want to like, there's a little bit of a balancing act between like which ones you're bringing in and which ones you're leaving there to fetch up. So I think like D-Sphere and Supreme Verdict are ones I want to leave there to fetch up. We actually have a good number of answers to like in Soul, like with Teferi Time Raveler bounces or stuff too, which is great. I'm gonna say it's okay. I think I'd mulligan this on the draw, but on the play, I think Cast Out and Teferi Time Raveler is enough. I have Temple of Enlightenment here to try and find a meaningful two mana play as well. It's possible that not playing 4 Deck and Stone in this deck is a huge punt. More I play the format, the more that removal spell just seems like the best thing I want to be doing. Since they banned Felidar Guardian, Last Breath stock has gone down a small bit, so maybe I just want like have just like 2 Last Breaths in the main and 3 Deck and Stone, and then the 4th deck in the board. I'm having the strangest sense of deja vu, chat. I am on late. I ended up taking off Thursday this week. And my brother-in-law is currently staying with us, so he's hanging out with the kids tonight. All Christie's around. Stone Coil Serpent, yep. I think I'm probably just, well, for starters, we're definitely taking the land. I think I'm just Teferi, like, pounds the Bomat Courier here. Just, like, resets the card count under it. And it's like, hey, look at distraction. We're going to 16. Teferi's going to dead. Would have been this. I think I might just run back what we did last turn. I'm playing the untapped land out here because, actually, am I just plussing this? Nah, I'm just gonna draw a card again. I want to find our way to a Supreme Verdict. I played the untapped land there because I didn't want to get hit by a soft stub, a Stubborn Denial without the added benefit on it. Playing the second Teferi out here makes us a little bit worse against a pair of Scissors if they have Insole. Yep. Bringing 7 down to 9. This match has not felt particularly close. I've kind of just gotten run over. Well, we hit the verdict, but it's probably too little too late. Like if they have another Scissors or a Shrapnel Blast here, we're just going to get run out. Ghost Fireblade's pretty good too. So dead to Shrapnel Blast, we're going to 4 here. We've not seen any green cards besides Once Upon a Time. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they're just like playing for Once Upon a Time in their deck. I think playing for Once Upon a Time in their deck is incredibly smart. They discarded 2 lands. Yep. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play a 1/4 out here because they just have so many haste creatures in their deck. This also means we don't die to an Insole next turn. We're still, like, mostly dead to an insult, but we're not, like, dead to that turn to it. Alright. It's a big in. Alright, if we hit a land here, we can approach the second sun. And then we can dig back into it. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Oh, dee 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 dee. All right, so we're at a virtual 15 at the moment. If we hit an untapped land next turn, we actually win the game next turn, right? So if we draw untapped land here, we get 2 shots at untapped land because this search is going to flip. So if we find untapped land, we get to dig back into the approach and approach again. Well, oh, we can also just grab a land off the dig, right? Right? We can just grab a land off the dig, too. GG easy. GG easy. Nothing but net chat. We were just kind of getting run over, and then we scape shifted them. That feels good. Feels good. Get to punk them out like that. That was a game. Like that was sweet. 10 out of 10 in for that. Definitely, I'm pretty confident I want a 4th deck in stone. Pretty confident that's a thing. I'm not sold on these commit to memories. These could be some more cheap interaction. You know, maybe Azorius Charm's a card this deck is interested in. I've seen other people playing that card in blue-white control decks. This seems reasonable. Yeah, we were dead to Shrapnel Blast and didn't get Shrapnel Blasted, so that's nice. Would you like to collab on a super media magic rap? I don't know that I have time for other means of production at the moment. Yeah, that could be a fair assessment too. Like, we just don't have time to wish for D-Sphere. Just like, leave only verdict in here. I would believe that's that's a not an unreasonable takeaway. Yay, magic! Woo, magic! Alright, keep, bottom this. These 2 cards are good. By good, I mean passable. Yeah, Our Promise is pretty good too. You agree on that one? There's definitely a matchup where Hour can be cost 3 mana. Alright, so I'm going to Fabled Passage on 1, so we can fetch a land and play Glacial untapped on 2 and Deck and Stone the Serpent after they put Scissors on it. Hopefully they don't have land second pair of Scissors for this Darksteel Citadel. Opponent is no longer clueless because we're a giver. I mean, I think Reflector Mage is, like, a fantastic playable Magic the Gathering card. But, like, it's a different deck. We're, like, super dead to a second pair of Scissors unless we rip another deck in stone. Feels dead, man. Yep. Yeah, if this was just deck in stone. Okay. Okay. Well. Here's one you've all heard before. Well, if we don't get shrapnel blasted, we're in a good spot. Great. This last breath had been Deckenstone. Scale of 1 to dead. Where am I at here? Attacking Teferi. Things that bode well for the home team. Untapped land. Untapped land. Ba-beep! Alright. Oh-ho. We're halfway there. Oh-ho. Gonna die to shrapnel blast. Do-do-do. Be-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Be-do-do-do-do. Yep. Alright, who's got 2 thumbs and is dead to a counterspell? This guy right here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Whew. Alright. Alright. Here's hoping we draw an untapped blue or white source here. Okay. I'm in danger. How do you think approach is overall? I think approach is a great blue-white win condition. I think how good blue-white is going to depend on where the format settles. Like, trying to figure out what the right mix of removal is tough while the format's still developing. Like, for example, I think the fact that I've not got 4 Deckenstones in here is a pretty big miss at the moment. There's been a lot of clenching so far this game, Marty. It's been a good match of Magic. I don't know if this archetype is super good, but I definitely think this deck generates what I consider to be good games of Magic. Like, I think the things overall this deck is doing, I at least find enjoyable. What's going on, oldest son? Is it almost bedtime? It's almost bedtime, yep.
Yeah, I did pin me.
Alright, so we found the cast out here. Thank you for the very generous tier 2, Lebo. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I think I'm supposed to, like, end step cast out. I guess their cards in hand are all bad at the moment, huh? Alright, YOLO. It's a shame. If we had another land here, I feel like we'd be in a pretty good spot, but without another land, I feel like there's a chance they like sneak something through this turn. Oh, do they have a disenchant? Well, you can't disenchant now, because you're currently playing Hearthstone. Oh, okay, cute. We about to die to all the glitters. Brutal. Target creature gets 2/2. It's an artifact against indestructible. That's sick. All Pioneer submissions are currently $50. $50 or a tier 3 sub. Is that the queue is super backed up? Once we get back down to under 12 decks in the queue for Pioneer, they'll go back to 25 or tier 3. But for the time being, I don't like to take a bunch of decks and people are gonna have to wait like 3+ weeks to see them played. I agree that Built to Last seems bad against our deck. I guess it's not Supreme Verdict. Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe the cast out timing is wrong there. I feel like the read that like their hand's a bunch of garbage because like if their hand wasn't a bunch of garbage, they would have played it. But I guess they had Once Upon a Time is a reasonable thing to consider they could have had. And like the other creature pumps as well. So like, if I think through those, maybe we just let them sit on that for a turn. Would have won that game if we'd had a 6th land there. And again, like, the fact that, like, the answers I'm playing just didn't line up well into what they were doing. Like, my last breaths were pretty underwhelming there. I feel like after this league, I'm pretty off of last breath. I don't think that's a removal spell I'm gonna play in here again. It was definitely one of the best removal spells we could be playing when we needed to exile Felidar Guardian instant speed. And I feel like with that no longer being a thing, that it becomes less good. Seal Away. I think Deck and Stone is great. Seal Away sounds really underwhelming. There's some random bot command tied to the command last. Yeah, Blessed Alliance could be a playable card. Is it Charm Me Daddy? Radical idea, sure. Oh, weird. Dynavolt Tower. You play an instant or sorcery, gain 2 energy, spend some energy, deal 3 damage to any target. Yep. I don't know, the conditionalness of Seal Away I think is also pretty mediocre. I think I'd probably max on Deckstone to start. I'm gonna grab Hero of Dominaria here. And then Blessed Alliance seems fine from there. I don't know. Even Cast Out's kind of awkward. It just gets the pass because it attacks permanents of any type. Honestly, I think Skywhaler Shot is probably a playable Magic the Gathering card. I think that's a card I would attempt to play. It's not a 2-mana removal spell, but it's like, I think it's a reasonable card. Do I want to tuck that in? I feel like I don't. They can have some energy. Second Dynavolt Tower, yep. I expect Time Raveler's gonna die here. Ooh, Big Tef's gonna die. It's unfortunate. And they have another instant or sorcery that can kill both of them. Evening, Micah. Really? We just left the hero of Dominaria. Okay. We don't need a threat, Panamoine. And the fact that Brazen Borrower doesn't block ground creatures, I think makes it not good enough. Send that back from whence it came. Huh, that's a decent pickup. So I think I just play the... I'm going to get to untap 2 lands here, so I think I'm just going to play a tapped land, and then we'll let Teferi untap some lands. We'll probably commit when they replay Disdainful Tower next turn. I want things that are like actual removal spells, I think. I'd be kind of surprised if they straight up reprinted the allied colored creature lands, because the original set of creature lands I think are a lot better than the second cycle. I wouldn't be surprised if we got different creature lands that are allied colored. But I think expecting to get those same ones back is hoping for a little bit too much. Colonnade, Tar Pit, Raging Ravine, those cards are all just like very, very good. Alright, so let's do that. Censor's not terrible. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana with the untap here. How about we granted for a Detention Sphere here? Just like D-Sphere this Disdainful Tower. And then we can dig on their end of turn. Interesting. Are they a Phoenix deck, too? Dante Donna, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. Rail, is it Viscery? Yep. Am I supposed to censor that? I feel like I'd rather just dig. I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to censor that. It's like pretty set on digging. Tell me the Disdainful Tower is bad. It's probably not very good. It probably has a really bad time against things that have 3 toughness. I would bet. They're basically dead. They're like dead adjacent. I really care about Glimmer. granted for a veto here. Hey, Tofu. I don't use Facebook anymore. Use their messaging app, but that's it. Life's a lot happier. Not being constantly reminded what other people you grew up with are like on Facebook. Alright, so all the counter spells in, sweepers, last breath out, extra commit to memory sounds good here. I think I want to leave Detention Sphere, Teferi, and Approach in the sideboard to search up with Fae of Wishes. One Deck and Stone's fine to leave in because they probably have a copy of... Probably have some Torrential Gearhulks running around in their deck. The rest of this seems fine. Hey, we broke 1,000 people. How we doing, folks? We're gonna play some mono black aggro in the league after this one. If we stay above 1,000 people or so, I think we're gonna do another deck after that. I've got time to be live tonight for a while. I guess I keep this. I don't know, their deck's not aggressive, right? Regular Wizard, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hooklandia. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend wherever you're at in the world. Cast Out seems great against their blue-red deck that can never interact with it. I almost sent a tweet this afternoon that said Hillary testified in front of the committee for like 11 hours and Trump won't set foot in it, but I decided that I didn't feel like blocking and muting people after sending that tweet. I didn't just jam the Teferi here because they probably have counterspells of some sort up, and like I'm still hitting my land drop, so I don't feel like I'm under any sort of pressure to like blink basically. Now they do have this Castle Vantress, so generally speaking you want to blink last in these control mirrors, but like Castle Vantress gives my opponent like some amount of way to use their mana every turn if I'm not, which is a little bit medium. I'm gonna go ahead and stroke this Glimmer, I think. Narset. Yep. Feels bad, man. So, unless they have Negate here, I can play this Teferi Time Raveler through Izzet Charm next turn, so that's nice. Does get countered by Mystic Dispute, though. I'm gonna go ahead and just jam this, I think. Again, playing the untapped land so I can play through Izzet Charm, which they're definitely playing. We saw that last game. Yep, there's the Dispute. Don't want to cycle, because if I cycle, I won't get to draw a card anyways, because of Narset. In general, repeating things like that you don't have a good first-hand source on tends to not be a very responsible thing to do, guy. I don't know, but I heard this thing, like, it's just spreading misinformation potentially. The upside of spreading it if it's true is low, and the downside of spreading it if it's not true is high. Dissolve, yep. That's a good one. Get your scry on. I'm just hanging tight. I'm gonna go ahead and cycle this. Just want to get cards in my bin for this dig through time. Both sides nonsense is never welcome here. Please don't do it. It's a quick way to get a 10-minute break. Thanks for the 10 months Remicide, I appreciate it. Alright, those are pretty sick, huh? I think we just take Dig and another Veto here. Having Veto seems like it puts us ahead in this matchup if I had to venture a guess. Make sure you got a sword, Remo. Yeah, I don't know if they're not. Whoa, that card's real good. That's real good. I'm glad I have Fae of Wishes still in my deck to fish up a Supreme Verdict eventually. That card's gonna kill us real quick. Thanks for the 7 months, Frozen North Gaming. I'm gonna play the Mutavault out, because Mutavault lets me dig through time while leaving 2 mana up, so I don't get, is it charmed? It also lets me veto plus dig. Okay, so I think we want Fae of Wishes plus an Opt here. Fae of Wishes turns into an eventual answer to the Whirler Virtuoso here and his friends. I'm also currently down on clock here, which is something I probably wanna start paying attention to. I think Dig Through Time banned is a when not if. I don't actually. I think Dig Through Time and Treasure Cruise have felt very reasonable in this format. I think the lack of fetch lands makes them pretty fine. The lack of non-Fabled Passage fetch lands to appease the actually folks out there. Bottom that at this point. The old Censor mirror match. Hashtag what year is it? Please Gear Hulk. Please Gear Hulk. Yeah. Yeah, Gear Hulk here is great because it means I get to grant it in Verdict next turn. Sure, you can Glimmer. Yeah, I agree, Canyon. Oh, I can't draw because of Narset. You're right, I already did a thing. Goodbye, friends. Now, they probably get to slam a Planeswalker here, but I can approach with Veto up next turn, which is appealing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana total. Yep. It takes us a little while to get back to this approach, though. I suppose there's a world where we play this Fae, bounce this Fae, get an approach that way. And just like run the double approach back in that roundabout. Probably hold on to this land for that purpose. It'd be really nice if I was up a Censor instead of having just cycled it for no value. So remember, the first approach doesn't have to resolve, but the second one does. Yeah, I guess cycling the Censor did get them to play the Torrential Gearhulk out, which ended up being okay for us. They have Wild Slash in their deck post board. I guess it does finish off Teferi. Completely reasonable. This card doesn't ult till 8, right? Yeah. Sure. 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 Huh? Definitely want to do that this turn, right? Just take Rail out of play. Go. We'll veto their dissolve. We'll slam search for Azcanta. Okay, explain why I didn't play land. Yeah, Fae of Wishes lets you discard 2 cards to return it to your hand. So holding lands in my hand eventually lets me play this Fae, pick it back up, and reuse it again. Although it looks like I'm gonna be shocking the land in now, so I can play search and hold up this other veto. So got a little bit punished, but I think it was correct to wait there. Dynavolt Tower. Yeah, definitely got to veto that one. Alright, it's going to make too much energy. It's going to make resolving our next approach harder, but like, I'm going to get to flip this search for Azcanta most likely. Dynavolt Tower just like lets them make too much energy, which lets the Whirl of Virtuoso just like pump out endless dorks. So search gets to flip here regardless, which is great. Yep. And again, gonna hold this land here, because eventually I can bounce this Fae of Wishes. Sure. Opponent's down to 23 cards in their deck. We're still at 18 life. Fry, yep. I assume they're going to make a Thopter here. Maybe I should not play the Fae of Wishes, assuming that it could die this turn. If I'm going to... I feel like I should either not play the Fae of Wishes or I should play the Temple of Enlightenment out. Either of those two things seem reasonable. Opting doesn't do much at the moment. I don't think I want to jam the approach until I have some counter backup for it. Dig sounds appealing. Howdy, Pseudo. I ended up taking, I was off on Thursday this week, so I wanted to sign on and, like, not let the deck queue back up too much. No, we just, like, it's just been, like, a 2.5-hour league with Approach. This deck plays long leagues. Why is cast out in between the two lands? Because this was an enchantment, and it didn't reposition it when it became a land. Whew. All right. I enjoy playing this deck. Like, we're 1-3 in this league, and this is a deck that I just, like, enjoy playing even when we're not winning with it. It is currently still $50 to submit a historic deck. $50 or a tier 3 sub. It's gonna remain at that price until we get down to 12 historic decks waiting to be played. Because 12 historic decks waiting to be played is a week's worth of historic decks. Or Pioneer, whatever, that format. Alright, you have 2 counter spells. This is a Gear Hulk? Yeah, it is. Alright. Are we gonna get him? Are we gonna do it? Alright, need a 1-mana counterspell. So everybody says. Bappy! Alright. Hit the 2-3. Scoreboard. Last Breath was real bad. I think in a post-Felidar Guardian world, I'm less excited to be playing this card. I think maybe some, like, the mono black aggro deck's been super popular recently, but, like, Deck and Stone is also good there. So I think I want to get rid of these Last Breaths. Commit to Memory was super underwhelming in the games that we played. I don't think I would play that card again. Honestly, I think I'd just, like, move this other Settle to the main deck. I think I just go up to 4 Declaration Stone. I've basically never been upset to see this card. This is a card I've been super happy with. And yeah, the last cast out could be good. I don't really like the idea of Seal Away. I think that card's pretty bad. I need to like take a second and like look at all the different 2-mana white removal options and see what the other options are. A 1 of Ashiok in the board seem relevant. Could you be more specific? Where does Ashiok seem relevant? Reality Shift. Yeah, I don't hate that. I guess, well, okay, so like the problem with Reality Shift is it's not good against aggro decks, so leaving the aggro deck at 2/2 is not good. I think you could play this card in the 75, but I think whatever Charm, yeah, that's the one. I think Azorius Charm super playable. I think I'd do that and leave this Settle on the board. You could have used it in Phoenix. It would have also turned off Gear Hulk. It's good against the field decks. Well, we didn't play against any field decks, and the other 2 decks you listed that it would be good against, we won. So again, like, there's lots of cards you can include in these decks, but you want to be identifying problems and then creating solutions for them. And I don't feel like your card you're recommending solves things that I had issues with. So from a curve perspective, this is pretty appealing. I feel like I would do this here. I think not playing this card in your blue-white control deck is a huge miss. I think this is the best white removal spell in this format, and it's not particularly close. I think Azorius Charm is a good suggestion. I think this card's great. I think some other number of 2-mana removal in the sideboard could be okay. Seal Away, Blessed Alliance, etc. I think Seal Away is good against specifically aggro decks. So like if I want cards specifically for the mono black aggro deck, I think this card is fine there. So like maybe you do that to round things out, but I don't think this is a card I'm interested in playing in my main deck. I think the conditions around it is too narrow a lot of the time. When you were grinding, what was the most efficient way to jam meaningful games? Sitting down on Cockatrice with Matt in the same room and just playing lots of games against each other. So I think this is the 75 I'm going to put up on my website for the approach deck after playing this league. Yeah, I think there's matches where this card is good, but I don't think it's generically good enough to be main deckable. And I think Charm and Deccan Stone both are. Alright, what are we doing? Speaking of black aggro, this deck's been putting up all sorts of results. We're going to play some black aggro up next here. Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and hit an ad roll so we can meet our quota for the day. So we'll be back in about 3 minutes with this deck here. For people who are non-subs that are about to get ads, you're not going to miss any actual Magic content. We need to take a break while we run ads on this channel, so be right back.